Hello and welcome to the Dark Roast of Nerdiness podcast. This is episode 11. I am your host, Wolf, as always. Title of this episode is Rise of the Clout Goblins. With the ever-changing landscape of social media changing, affecting entertainment and everything, we decided we'd take the show and kind of talk about it. We're also going to check out some trailers. I'm being joined today by my co-host, is back Shark from his long voyage at sea. And we also have our guest host with us, Walrus, today. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab your coffee, sit back, enjoy the ride. Let's get this started. We are starting off today with an interesting topic, girl boss fatigue. So lately in a lot of movies and a lot of shows, due to bad writing and just general stupidity, in my opinion, they don't know how to write heroes, villains, any of this stuff anymore. So when it translates to a show that they want to bring in a strong female character, they don't do good buildups. And due to shows, stuff like this happening, people have just gotten so fatigued out that now, sadly, two good movies that had girl bosses came through the scene and both bombed. Because from all accounts, everybody I know that has seen, I have not seen it yet, seen John Wick Ballerina. It's a damn good movie. That it has issues and it's not realistic, but let's face it, are any of the Wick films realistic? No. You could be wearing all the body armor in the world. You get hit that hard, that close. Yeah, you're going to hurt. You're not going to be getting up and kicking somebody's ass. You're going to be wheezing, coughing up a little blood, wishing you had worn thicker armor. And then on a second movie that bombed due to the stigma of girl bosses was Mad Max Furiosa. Good story, good villain, excellent visuals. I mean, it was Fury Road visuals. But people couldn't get past the fact, Mad Max without a Mad Max. And so many movies around it, like Snow White and all this other crap, that had fed people these bad stories, this no good character development, ruined it. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts on some of these girl boss movies you've seen? What did they do right? What did they do wrong? And do you feel the same, that we've had at least the two movies that I can recollect, because I haven't seen everything, Ballerina and Furiosa, getting hit in the crossfire? Can you think of anything others that you think, or anything you think coming down the road might actually be caught in the same vacuum?
Yeah, I got an answer for that. Thunderbolts. I would argue that the main protagonist is not Black Widow, but Canary, her sister.
Yeah,
she was the main lead on it, I think. And you know what? There wasn't a bit of like, oh, hey, this happens to be a female lead, and now we're going to try to push this agenda down your throat. It felt like a superhero movie again. I enjoyed it.
and see, I've heard the same thing. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting. But the few people I know that saw it enjoyed it, and their main complaint was just, and I'll see if you agree on this, that there was a little bit too much psychoanalytic of the characters that really didn't need to be there. If you've already watched their other shows, you know what's wrong with these people. And the fact that the main villain, the Void, that they used, there really wasn't a great setup. And the fact of, if you know anything of the history of the comics, a bunch of people without powers have no chance against that motherfucker at all. A guy that can bend reality.
Yeah.
So it was the bad villain. It was a bad villain. Too much psychobabble drama built into it that didn't need to be there. And I will say this from the few trailers I've seen, Marvel needs to get away from the campy James Gunn humor. It worked for Guardians. It's not going to work in everything. No. And I would actually like to see him play Alexei as dark as Alexei was in the comics. The Red Guardian was a mean motherfucker. He was built to take on Captain America. But he got fucked over by his own government. Because in the middle of him getting great, the Cold War decided to end on him.
I mean, it would be great to see an anti-hero movie come out through Marvel, of where there's no resolution, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It just finishes with, there's no hope.
Yeah.
I think if you went dark with it,
if you think about it, the only one that did that was crap, and I'm drawing a blank on the before Endgame.
Civil War.
Infinity Wars. Because half of the universe died.
Yeah.
There was a consequence. Our guys ended that movie broken.
Yeah. They failed and they knew it.
Yeah, and that's what I think made Endgame so fucking good, is because finally, for the first time in Marvel, there were consequences. People failed. I mean, I still think one of the best scenes in the entire movie was improvised. Where Tony's going off on Cap and hands him the thing and he goes, "You go fight him. I don't trust you, liar." That was improvised. That was not in the script. That's why I loved when I watched the behind the scenes. They're like, instantly, they're like, when they showed that never, that wasn't there. That was, Robert Downey Jr. being Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Which, fingers crossed, he can do,
I'm excited for Doom.
Yeah. Well, Doom, yeah. I'm curious to see how they pull Doom. Rumor mill is Doom is his face is already disfigured, which would go along with the comics. There's a reason he wore the mask. What's going on, Entity? I see that you hopped in. Yeah, there's a lot going around, and yeah, we are actually going to talk about Spaceballs 2 down the line. We're actually going to do a group reaction to the trailer that dropped out and kind of talk about some of the news and everything that's come along. I've been waiting for that fucking movie for 37 years. Yeah. I mean,
I was so giddy whenever I heard that.
Hey,
dude,
waiting 32 years, okay?
Yeah, well, dude, it's I don't know why he waited this long, really. I don't.
Maybe because like Lucas had backed up and he just was like, oh, well, there's not enough. And then
I think honestly it was just Mel Brooks being Mel Brooks. There
Yeah,
are times where he knows it's the right time. I mean, well, I know his biggest project that he tried to get off the ground for the longest time was History of the World Book 2. And they did finally do it, not in a movie. It was kind of that segmented show style. And I sadly did not watch all of it because the middle part kind of was like, all right, come on, man. Give us the humor of the old days. It was, that we're going to skate, we don't want to toe the line and break it humor. And I was like, this is not Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks has always been, fuck you. I'm going to make whatever I think is funny. And you're either going to laugh or you're going to find it crude. And I don't care.
Yeah.
Which is what I hope he does in Spaceballs.
I'm dying to find out if he does a Jar Jar character. He almost has to.
Ooh.
It would be hilarious if Jar Jar is the big bad in this.
Like all the theories.
Yes. Because that would be hilarious.
Dude, he's got so much to fucking work with, though.
Oh, God.
I mean, seriously. My God, just on the Alien, making fun of Alien Predator front, there's a reason that movie they talk about, there were 7 movies, now this, now this, now this, now this. It just keeps going. So yeah, I'm truly looking forward to that one. I hope it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. I think the hardest thing that's going to be with that, in a sense, is am I going to build up too much expectation for?
Well, and you also have to look at this as a potential last for him.
Well, it is a last.
His last.
There's already a rumor going around that if he dies in the middle of filming, they're going to put his corpse in the fucking movie because that's Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him to be in his will. If I die while filming, prop my dead body up somewhere in the scene.
Beside the jukebox.
Beside the jukebox. Jettison me out of the back of Spaceball 2.
Right.
Use me as a torpedo on an enemy.
Box for me into the side
right.
of the ship.
Right.
Oh, if he dies in the middle of it, they're going to crack a joke that President Scrooge died in between the two chicks.
Oh, yeah. Has to.
Yeah. He died while mid-coitus with a great smile.
Due to lack of oxygen.
Due to lack of oxygen.
He didn't have any more fresh cans.
Oh, man. No, that's going to... I think it's going to be good. I don't think it... So, yeah, kind of going along the same subject here. And this is going to kind of give a little bit of a look into the content creator spotlight for today. I want us to watch like a little bit of a video here and just kind of give our thoughts on it. Because I think this person really broke down why modern characters are so unlikable. You got the one ready to go, Shark?
I do indeed.
All right, let's
Just
fire it up.
swapping over to that.
So, as always, anything we show in here, all the links are in the descriptions. Please give those creators that we show, if you like, a like, comment, subscribe on their channels as well. This is Patty, and this video came about 3 weeks ago. And the minute I saw it, I was like, man, this guy is probably the first person to eloquently put out every reason why modern characters fucking suck for the most part.
About the trajectory of what humans perceive as strength, not only in entertainment media, but even in influencers and perceived role models. This is a steady decline that has been gradually moving towards shaping the very definition of strength. For me, this is actually quite a fascinating topic because of how blind a lot of people are to what is actually happening, almost as though they know the counterfeit better than the genuine. What do I mean by this? There is an interesting phenomenon called perceptual expertise that I'll use as an illustration. Anyone who handles cash on a constant basis, especially in a profession, gain an incredible ability to easily identify counterfeits. Now, something I find insane about this phenomenon is that it isn't actually taught. It is grown through exposure. Bank tellers and cashiers handle genuine banknotes all day. This constant, repeated exposure allows them to develop an intuitive sense of what feels right. The texture,
I will jump in on
color,
this to a
weight.
sense. That only works when they're not bleaching real bills and reprinting on them. Because
Well,
I had
no.
2 counterfeits hit me one time. That I was like, yeah, that's a real bill. Yeah, that's a
Well,
mark. And they're like,
as-
no, the magnetic strip says it's a 5.
Well, and as someone who works in that industry right now, it's it's also the colors and so on. Like it's gotten so much easier to be able to tell counterfeits, even without the black light and all that. Like they actually train quite heavily in how to detect that stuff.
Print clarity, and even embedded features of real currency. Over time, they build this mental prototype or baseline of what authentic notes look like. So when a counterfeit does come along, it stands out. Not necessarily because the cashier knows exactly what's wrong, but because it doesn't match the baseline they've naturally internalized. Their brain subconsciously flags it as unfamiliar or off. Now, you could probably see where I'm going with this. I believe that a lot of modern writers and influencers are more exposed to a counterfeit.
And everybody you just showed is basically dog shit shitheads, or has basically destroyed every IP known to man.
Yep.
They are to actual genuine strength. So to them, genuine strength is foreign, and they probably even see it as weakness. Unfortunately, it also seems like this is slowly becoming the norm. Before I dive into what this modern depiction of strength is, let's look at what genuine strength has always looked like. Throughout history, we see that strength has often been defined as the capacity to endure, to act with integrity under pressure, and to choose what is right even when it costs you. It is a
Okay.
In other words, have morals, moral fortitude, and to live by the strength of your convictions.
And in the current day and age, there ain't a damn person in Hollywood that has any of that.
Dude, to them, that's evil.
Yeah.
That's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah.
Just completely foreign.
It's a whole town of fake. Their lives are
moral
fake.
and-
Their images are fake. Their homes are fake. They thought the fires were fake. Yeah, that
They
didn't
are
end
the
too well.
Joneses. They are,
Yeah.
as the old saying is, they're the Joneses that
Think of
everybody
it.
thinks they have to keep up with.
They're so goddamn fake that half the Rubbermaid in the world shot into their asses.
Not just their asses.
and emotional resilience. Not the absence of struggle, but the decision to face it. It is also force and power under control. Marcus Aurelius put it this way: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength.
Hey, you know where I told
Now I
you
know
that
where
yesterday.
you got that from. Yeah, you were telling
And
me
I'm
this
shocked.
the other
I've
day.
read about Marcus Aurelius, and I had never heard that one. And I had to look back. I was like, all right, is this a YouTuber using this, or was he known for saying this? And then, yeah, it's on his fucking statue in Rome.
Oh wow.
Like, oh, okay, so he actually did say it. And there's a lot of truth to it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, that's what every goddamn shrink tries to tell everybody, but they don't want to fucking listen. You can't control what you can't fucking control. Just control you and be happy.
Yeah. Get what you get and don't throw a fit.
You went to a
Isn't
water
about-
flavor packet.
What?
Wait a minute, is that like the Mio things? Am I reading that right?
I'm back. Went to get a yeah.
Okay.
So like the hydration things.
Yeah. Okay.
Control over people or circumstances. It's about self-mastery, the ability to stay steady when everything else is shaking. The power
Okay.
to
Peruse over the
respond
chapters real quick. There's one big thing I wanted to get to that he goes into the counterfeit. Keep going down. And keep going down. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Y'all get the kind of the gist of where this guy's going. I would suggest watch the whole video. I don't want to kind of take up 14 minutes of our whole show of us having to pause, and because I always believe in fair rights and not to abuse it. And in order to do that, we would actually have to do a full review on this and a deep dive, and I don't want to take away. So the link for this guy's video is in it. Check it. To sum it up, he basically breaks down on the fact of if you don't understand true strength, if you don't understand true integrity, if you don't understand right from wrong, the hero's journey, dealing with consequences, dealing with loss, dealing with all this, basically everything Hollywood has no fucking clue about, you're not going to write characters that are strong or characters that are likable. They're going to seem entitled, petty, cruel, and self-absorbing. And let's face it, that's pretty much 90% of what they wrote. I mean, they took, the fairest of the fair and turned her into girl boss times 10, fuck the man, don't need him. Yeah, I'm going to turn my whole kingdom into a socialist utopia. Oh, nope, you're all still poor. I'm rich. Praise me. And then, at the end, let's have a white party.
Well, and in more recent, I brought this up.
Did you catch that? A whole movie about equity and diversity. And at the end, they have a whole white party.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peach mango. Nice.
Now remember, you can shoot them up to show them, too. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So one that I had brought up the other day that a lot of people probably don't think is a girl boss that kind of pissed a lot of people off because once again, Disney, Lilo and Stitch, the new live action Lilo and Stitch.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That,
Nani was a total girl boss. She was kicking ass, taking names.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I refuse to.
Do you know the ending?
Yes.
Spoilers for everybody that hasn't seen it and loved the original.
Ohana don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically, she decides at the end, fuck you, sister, go live with Fosters. I'm going to go be a marine biologist in another state.
Yeah. Not even the best marine biologists in the world are trained
in fucking Hawaii.
But she wants to go to Cali. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right, Entity. He's saying that he wants, more gray, moral. Yeah, every character needs to be. Tony Stark is like a prime example of a moral gray character. At the beginning, he's a, womanizing warmonger, believes he's right on everything, thinks the world's perfect, it doesn't need to change, and then he gets almost killed by his own weapons. And literally out of every movie all the way up to Endgame is redeeming himself for all the shit that he knows that him and his family put the world through, trying to recorrect every wrong, all the way to the point where in Civil War, he's going against his friends to stand for what he believed at that time would be right. And you're right. They don't do that. It's either good, bad, and even that, they don't even know how to do good, and they don't even know how to do bad. They want you to feel bad for the bad guy, which, I'm sorry, there are some stories where you can feel bad for the bad guy. Mr. Freeze is a prime example of, at the beginning, you think this guy's freezing people, he's horrible. Then you realize he's going after the company that he thinks killed his wife, all for profit. So,
and in the meantime, is using the technology that he's killing people with to try to save her life and potentially more.
Yeah. But at the same time, unlike the way they're writing evil characters now, like Reva in Obi-Wan, she's not redeemable. We're supposed to be, okay, you just chopped this person's arm off, you murdered all these people, also you can get that 5-second chance to fail at killing Vader. Sorry, that doesn't level out. Even Freeze knew he was vile. He knew that he'd become a person that even his wife would not love anymore if he could save her. But it was worth it because he wasn't doing it for him. He was doing it to save her.
Yep.
Damn himself in the process. But you're right, they don't get that. But then again, what do you expect when half your writers now are a bunch of assholes that don't read the source material, don't care about the source material, are 23 and 25, have no life experiences at all, have lived a comfy little cozy life in their parents' home the whole damn time, never worked a real fucking job in their lives, and they think they're God's gift to the fucking universe and know everything.
Well, I mean, I am. So
Well, and the one Salvation one that you and I were talking about the other day that we want to go see is How to Train Your Dragon. We're hoping
Yeah.
that they've done what they're supposed to do with this, and you said they've added in parts that were cut.
Yes. So for those of y'all that aren't aware, Gerard Butler was in an interview recently, and he was talking about how much he enjoyed doing the voice of the father in the animated movie, but how due to time constraints and just editing choices, that there were several impactful scenes between him and the son that never made it into the animated film. But all of those scenes are going to be in the live action. He fought to have those scenes in the live action. So we're going to get more depth between the father and the son, more understanding, and at the end of the movie, more of a resolution between them two.
hopefully they'll portray the Viking culture a little bit more, so you understand why everything was so.
They have the level that they've gone to the sets and everything. They're looking like they're spending the time and the money to do this right. I mean, people are a little iffed about some of the casting choices, but at the same time, I'm not super pissed because they could have been a lot worse. Black Snipe. Just to say it. The overly goody two-shoes can do no harm. Heroes are insufferable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, how can you throw Batman in there? Batman actually is not a goody two-shoes. There's a reason he calls Superman Boy Scout, because that's Superman. Batman actually, in the first 10 years of his run, killed people. Even used a gun. If you look at some of if you think Batman's goody two-shoes, I suggest go to your local comic book store and pick up there's 3-year run. It was started with Cataclysm and ended in a series called No Man's Land, where Gotham gets completely cut off from the entire world. And basically the government builds a wall around Gotham to basically say, suck fucking kill yourselves. We ain't dealing with you no more. Batman actually does kill his enemies. Not intentionally, though, but he has in the past let people die. There's a difference between taking the life and just ending a life or letting them kill themselves. I always like Batman. Yeah, in the live action. Well, yeah, the live action movies, they've never taken it to that level, and they never will. Because live action, they want to make it for the normies. In the comics, it's way different. That's kind of why growing up, my favorite character, I always congregated more to the characters that weren't superpowered. Like Batman, Punisher.
Iron Man.
Yeah, well, I never really read Iron Man by himself. I read the Avengers, some of the tie-in storylines. Really, the only time I started getting into superhero people was Wolverine. Because also, again, I like the fact that his brutality, his realness, how, he followed Xavier because he could see he believed in what Xavier believed in, but he didn't always believe in how Xavier thought it could happen. In fact, there were a lot of times that he actually sided more with Magneto. Yeah, if you've only known the live action Batman, like I said, go on Amazon or anything. I think they sell Cataclysm and No Man's Land in a full collected graphic novel. So you have to hunt the single issues. You just buy the book. It is a great story. In fact, what is it? The way the Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson ended with the dam breaking and the city getting flooded, and the way the Bane ending trying to blow the bridges and everything and segregate Gotham off in the Nolan, the last, what was the title of the last Nolan Batman film? Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises.
In the Dark Knight Rises, all of those things that they did were actually taken from No Man's Land. Because No Man's Land actually started with basically, I believe it was the Joker blew up every bridge in and out of Gotham. And then all the other crime lords like, Penguin and all of them literally took over sections of the city and basically took control of all Gotham, and basically Batman and his group of people were basically left there to survive because the rest of the U.S. cut them off. Like, in fact, the president in those comics actually gave orders anybody seen trying to escape Gotham was to be shot on sight. Hence No Man's Land. Yeah, Keith Ledger did great as the Joker. He really did.
Oh, yeah.
The only person that has come close to Ledger wasn't even allowed to call himself the Joker. And that was in the Gotham TV show. Cameron Monaghan, the character he played, they wouldn't allow him, but the legal team at DC and Warner Brothers would not allow them to use the name Joker because they were too afraid that it would interfere with the Joaquin Phoenix movie because it was being made at that time. They didn't want to confuse people.
It should have interfered with the Joaquin Phoenix Batman.
The only thing I liked about those was Lady Gaga in it.
Okay, well, I'll put it this way. Joker 1 was good. The Joker was good.
Yes.
Ballet Adu did not need to be made at all. And all it did was end it to the way what everybody suspected possibly from the beginning of the first one is that he is actually not the Joker. In fact, in the movie when he's bleeding on the ground, dying, the guy laughing is the Joker. So he did good, but no, Cameron Monaghan gave us literally in 3 seasons of a TV show, the Heath Ledger Joker, the Jack Nicholson Joker, turning all the way into the Mark Hamill Joker. All the way down to the Batman 57 where Joker has his face ripped off and he staples it back on. The one DC show I hope they never make live action is the old Teen Titans show. No, they won't. They already tried with just Titans, and
it failed epically.
Well, not really. The first season was good. The problem with that show was just bad casting. It was bad casting,
and it moved
bad
slow.
timing. Yeah, it had a very, very snail's pace pacing. You are correct.
They focused on the wrong things with it because I tried watching it. I made about half the first season, and it didn't fit with what we knew from the animation.
Yeah, well, they also didn't bring in anything that they should have. I have to rewatch it because I don't remember all the villains that they brought in, but they didn't bring in Slade Wilson.
Yeah, like the entire thing was to bring in Slade. You bring in Slade and you bring in Tara for.
Well, the worst part is they show the correct birth of the Red Hood, but don't show Ra's or Talia al Ghul at all. How can you have the finding of a Lazarus pit and the bringing back of somebody without an Al Ghul involved?
Yeah,
or the League of Assassins involved. Honestly, the best portrayal of Ra's al Ghul was actually the Arrow show. Even though he didn't look like him, his attitude and the way he talked was the Ra's of the comic.
Was that the Liam Neeson one?
No. The Liam Neeson was a butcherization of it horribly. Sadly, because it was Liam Neeson. But no, if you actually, I think it was...
Don't you talk down on my hero, Liam Neeson.
No, if you talk at 5th or 6th season
don't you talk shit about Qui-Gon Jinn.
Hey, if you haven't watched the 5th or 6th season of Arrow, you need to, because it brings in a damn good version of Ra's al Ghul, and it also brings in a really good crap, that brought us the best John Constantine that's ever been done on film. Because he looks like him, acts like him, talks like him.
Sounds like him.
Well, the guy that did it in Legends of Tomorrow, that's where he started in, was the Arrow show.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, he had to cleanse and basically get the darkness out of Canary when they brought her back.
Yeah.
Let's see, what did he say here? You know what, Sire? Wait a minute. You know what, Sires? I'm shocked that's still coming out.
I think he means
new movies is what series?
Tremors?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've watched the original. I haven't watched any of the others. I just love the original. I don't want it ruined in any way. The original was so unique for when it came out, and the physical special effects were so fucking perfect. Yeah. So kind of moving on, we're going to go into our next topic for the night, which is the title of the show, which is The Rise of Clout Goblins. With stuff like social media influencers and, good old little clout goblins, people that are in it all for the sake of just them. I personally am kind of sick of them. I'm tired of everything on social media getting ruined by people, and everything in entertainment getting ruined by influencers and social media and clout goblins that are horrible, despicable people and just basically want attention. Bunch of narcissistic fucking children that their parents didn't slap the shit out of them like they should have. What are your thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts? And let's go ahead and go on the round table. If you look at our thumbnail, those are the clout goblins I hate the most. I mean, in fact, I'll just name them off. Gavin Newscomb, because he's a slick-haired used car salesman asshat who's literally allowed California to burn to the damn ground multiple times. And every time you can tell...
Sir.
Hey,
that's an insult to car salesman.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, car salesman. I mean, if you watch him interviews, you can always tell when the guy's lying because, well, let's face it, he hardly ever tells the truth. And anytime he gets caught, he puts his hands in the back of his pocket. Not in his pockets, in his back pockets.
He's lying when his mouth is moving.
Yeah. Second one would be Greta Thunberg. Miss, I decided to send a boat over to a blockaded area and got my ass handed to me by the Israeli military, who basically said, we don't give a fuck who you are. Fuck off, bitch. And hopefully they threw her on a dinghy and in the middle of the ocean, we can get rid of her.
To be fair, I blame her less than I blame her parents, knowing that she has Asperger's and taking advantage of her.
Oh, no, they set her up horribly to live in a disillusioned world.
Her nearly as much.
Yeah, but it'd be easy. Just take her phone away and give this shit up. Then you got the two ones that we're finally getting at the end of. Jack Gumby Boy Doherty and Johnny I'm a retard Somali, who is now going to spend a nice 50 fucking years in a Korean prison. Hope he likes egg rolls, because he ain't eating.
Oh, no, he ain't getting that. He get the crap kimchi made in trash bags.
You missed that one. He getting egg roll, but not
in
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, the king of the clout. And then, of course, the king of influencers and clout goblins, Hassan Baby Oil, Diddy Bin Laden Piker. The biggest asshat liar of them all. Whoa. Yeah, I'm just tired of these people on the feeds. I'm tired of seeing them. I'm tired of news articles glazing them and fluffing the hell out of them like they're some great fucking people, and they're not. They're narcissists. They are all pathological narcissists who constantly talk about themselves and literally have just taken social media that used to be nice, funny cat memes and enjoyable shit and turned it into a crock of crap.
I mean, I would add the Paul brothers into that list of asshats.
I don't put them in the category of influencer. I don't put them in the category of influencers, even though I know they are. Mainly because those go in that separate category of people I would like to see thrown into a live volcano. I mean, you could pay-per-view that shit. No, the others, I just want to see them downfall of their own. They're their own worst enemies and downfalls. I mean, as bad as Bin Laden Piker freaking sets himself up and crashes out on his streams all the time. It's only a matter of time before he breaks the communist law. What was it? 1967 Communist Act. It's not long before he says the wrong things, instigates the wrong thing, or someone in his universe of his Discord and his Reddit channels does something insanely stupid. And you and all of us here know he'll get a knock on the door from a nice 3-letter agency and off to Gitmo his ass will go.
I mean, not before making a pit stop in, the ocean somewhere.
Yeah. Entity in the volcano. Yeah. No, the Pauls are the ones that I want to see. Jake Paul is a flip of the coin. He is an asshole. I don't give him that. But when it comes to the influencer space, he's drifting out of it. He's more about becoming a pro fighter. He's more about that lifestyle, more about being a family man, he is doing the 180. The only time he questionably does dumb shit is when he stupidly tries to protect his idiot brother again. Logan is a scamming fucking piece of shit who is now being investigated by the FBI. So I just want to see him get a downfall. I'd really love to see him get into a fight with somebody that really knows how to fight and has a grudge against him and just mauls the living shit out of it. I mean, his boxing matches have been his matches that he's been in have been a joke. I mean, seriously, put him in the MMA ring with somebody that really knows what they're doing and really has an axe to grind. Like, throw him in there with Nate Diaz on a bad
Nate
day.
Diaz or what's the guy from Mexico who's just like the fucking king right now?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Now, you know who would be a good person for him to fight? What's his name? The boxer from Japan. The one that's undefeated.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Because Paul would fight him in a heartbeat because his idiotic mind would be like, oh, I'm 70 pounds heavier than him. I got a longer reach. It's like, you do not underestimate the power that little dude has. Yeah, the Paul, you're right, Entity. They've been flying under the radar for a little while. I think it's because the fact that so much bad light is on Logan right now with this lawsuit. I mean, his ass was dumb enough to try to take on CoffeeZilla, not realizing that CoffeeZilla literally wanted to go in there so they could hit Discovery. They hit Discovery, and now all these text messages come out because he knew he'd suicide himself, and that's what he did. He gave him enough rope to hang himself. Kind of like Ethan Klein just did to Hassan and all of them for copyright. You heard about this one, Walrus?
I have not.
Okay, so
I haven't kept up with like a majority of the individuals you're saying.
I like doing this just because there's some crazy stuff going on and it's entertaining. So Ethan Klein did a content nuke on Hassan Piker. Unbeknownst to Hassan and everybody in his orbit, the video was intentionally dropped. Because unknown to them, Ethan Klein had already licensed and copyrighted it with the House of Congress. So all he knew, a good amount of them would react to it without giving any adequate commentary. And that they would maliciously attract people from his live stream to watch their live stream because they weren't doing like we do, where, a few weeks later, a day later, we're watching something, we're reacting to it, right? Mm-hmm. They were doing it the second he went live. They went live streaming his live stream. They pirated it. They literally detracted people from his audience, his income, to theirs, and maliciously, verbally told people that's what they were doing. So he's suing all. He's suing
defamation cause.
He's suing all three of them for copyright infringement, loss of income, malicious intent. Yeah, they are fucked. And of course, Hassan's spiraling now because it's three of his friends that it happened to. And of course, he's trying to say, oh, he didn't do that to me because of the. No, I think he's got something better planned for your sorry ass. Yeah, it's been interesting lately. What did Entity put there? You pop that one up?
Yep.
If you want to see a real piece of work, look up Denims. That B is she is, and Denims is one of the ones he's suing. Denims is getting sued. Apparently this idiot called Casey Tron, who literally spends her entire stream ripping bong hits and farting rather than talking and giving any commentary. In fact, half the time
people will pay for it.
Yeah, and people that pay for it. And then the other one is this Jedi, this Jabba the Hutt chick named Frogan, who apparently can get tossed into a volcano tomorrow, considering that she said soldiers deserve to get PTSD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime anybody talks anything bad about her, she says they're racist or they're sexist or they don't like Muslim people because she is Muslim and wears a hijab. I don't give a shit about your religion. If you are a girthy person who spends half your stream feeding your face the entire time and talking crap about people that the only reason you're allowed to sit in a country and freely do all the crap you're doing is the people you're talking bad about, why don't you pack up your crap and go back to the country you originally came from? Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait a minute. Because the crap you wear, the shit you eat, and the stuff you talk, they'd stone you to death.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because
you're right, Entity. That's what we're going to get into that. One of the subjects we're talking about tonight is basically TOS. What TOS? Yeah, Denims went after a VTuber a while back. Basically, Denims is a horrible human being that just goes after anybody she doesn't like. and creates lies and slander to try to justify. And of course, all the guys gooning to her, oh, yeah, she told me to go do it. Pretty sad, man. But then again, that kind of goes right into waifu culture. So
Wow.
I need to talk about, like, even there are guys that will worship what's behind Shark's screen on Shark's TV right now. And, you know, all you got to say is that you'll have a night with her or facial video. Yeah, God. Ugh.
Hey, don't you disrespect my waifu pillow?
You
On
gotta
that
remember to
note-
clean the hole on it.
On that note, so we can get to the TOS, what TOS, let's give a big shout out to our content creator spotlight for the day. Or week, I should say.
Yeah, you'll have to bear with me today, people. I'm running the board. So.
Yes, hold on real quick. Entity, I will agree with you. Kirsch is badass, and I'm glad that the people at Side Scrollers have given her a home and a platform, and she is now one of their main moderator and content creators. If you don't watch Side Scrollers, check it out. Great group of people, all about that 8-bit side scroll. Gotta love it, man. I grew up with those games. I spent half my youth playing those games. I went from riding around on BMX bikes with my friends to and that's all I'll do with that, because Nintendo will kill our ass if we actually go into the damn song. Fucking Nintendo. You ready to go, Shark? All right. As always on our shows, we give a content creator spotlight and we give a shout out to a content creator. I picked Padda this time. If you have not followed this gentleman or watched his videos, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, and check out his videos. This man breaks down really good, insightful tips. The video we were watching, why modern characters are so unlikable, was from him. He gives a great breakdown and analysis, does a lot with breaking down games, journalism, gaming journalism. The video that's shown right there, the death of AAA games, is one of my favorite videos that he's done. So definitely, if you have not checked him out, please give him a check out. It's well worth it. I think if you start with that video right there on the thumbnail where it says what happened, that's a great one of a kicking point to kind of go off. The guy is really good to listen to, really does his research, really informed, and just as you heard his voice, very, very smooth talk, very one of those things you could have playing in your background. You don't need to watch it. You're going to get informed enough just by listening to what he has to say. So if you haven't heard of him, go check him out. Well worth it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yes, Entity. Oh, okay. So put that one up, Shark, real quick. He said, so my list of favorite VTubers is Kirsch, Leaflet, and Smugiana. I have to check out the other. Kirsch is the only one out of that list that I've actually watched. I ain't gonna lie, one I watch a lot is Iron Mouse, just because we got a sighting of a Jack. I watch Iron Mouse a lot, mainly because I found her through Connor VA, Sea-Dog VA. I do like all the Trash Taste guys and Chris Abroad and all them. I get a kick out of them. Go figure. I like British and Welsh dry humor, and mix it with a bunch of guys stuck in Japan by choice. It's gold. But yeah, definitely check that person out. And yeah, I'm going to add those two right now onto my list, and I definitely will check them out, Entity. Thank you for sharing with us on those. I always like finding new people. You know, that's the thing about YouTube, man. If people don't recommend shit, the way their shit algorithm works, you're never going to find them anymore. Kind of like I showed Shark the other day that there's a new hidden level of fuckery going on YouTube. That if you are subscribed to someone and for some reason you have not gotten a ping or a notification or across your banner feed of a live feed or a video they did, but you look at your bell notifications and suddenly you see that video in there, when you click on it, take a look at below their name. And what did it actually say on there, Shark?
It said, you know what? I'd have to go back and pull it, but it was
basically now
grayed out, and it said something about like that it was not unlisted. That's
unlisted. So basically what YouTube is doing, if you find a video of a person you like that for some reason you didn't get a notification for, but you're allowed to watch it now, Look under their name and you'll see in little gray letters the words unlisted. What that means is they have literally gone on the back end and removed that video from the algorithm. And it happened to our friend Scott at US Airsoft. It was one of his videos. In fact, quite a few of his videos have that now, which is why he's seen no traction or movement or monetization on a lot of his videos lately. And it's not just Airsoft or 2A. They're randomly doing it for whatever fucked up bullshit reason YouTube wants to do it for.
A quick
But
aside,
it's not everyone either.
You talked about Scott. Did he end up posting something on Palooza the past weekend?
Not yet. He's working on them.
Okay.
He's got 2 videos he's working on right now. I talked to him yesterday. He's working on 2 videos on that, and him and I are talking about what we're getting him on here eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, right now he's working on those 2 videos, and there was something with him and Jet that he was working on. That's all we kind of talked about.
That very well could have been at Palooza because both of them were there.
Well, no. This is them actually. Oh, now I know what it was. There's a lot of B-roll stuff that he's working on Jet, because apparently Jet has so much stuff from his trip to Japan, he doesn't have time to edit it all himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jet just got back from Japan. It was his first time actually going to Japan.
He actually
played
just
it a whole
posted about that.
Yeah,
Just
that is kind of
post
the snippet of like a few of the places they went to play, but apparently there's a lot of behind the scenes at some of the manufacturers like Marui they went through and some of this, Laylax and all of them.
I have a whole thing on Palooza for you guys, but that'll be offline when we're not in the middle of the goblins.
Oh yeah. What did Entity put just respond with Shark?
Let's see here.
Okay. Gross says Dezu he calls out Twitter behavior and people being hypocrite. Yes, I've actually heard of that one. No, I like it. I like people that held people accountable. There's not enough on this platform. For all y'all that are watching right now on YouTube, we are now also streaming to Rumble live at the same time. In fact, tonight, once we end the show on YouTube, we will be continuing over on Rumble, mainly because then we can kind of open up and say all the things we can't say on here. And it's not hard to find. It is Dark Roast of Nerdiness on Rumble. So same moniker it is here. All right, so now that we've gone through all that, let's get to Spaceballs and all the breaking news.
Ooh, let's do it.
All right, so starting our breaking news tonight, we are going to watch Spaceballs 2, the announcement. So I'm going to read it out for people that are... All right, 38 years ago, there was only one Star Wars trilogy, but since then, there have been a prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, countless TV spinoffs, a movie spinoff of the TV spinoff, which is both a prequel and a sequel, not to mention 2 Dunes, 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars plus 3 upcoming Avatars, making 5 Avatars, 36 MCU movies with 2 different Robert Downey Jr.'s, DCU's attempt number 1, DCU attempt number 2, an animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King prequel, 8 Harry Potter movies, a TV series remaking the same 8 Harry Potter movies, a whole streaming service of Star Trek, 7 Alien movies, 2 of which were also Predator movies, not to be mistaken for the 6 Predator movies that are also not Alien movies, 1 Prometheus, which is kind of an Alien movie, 4 Beatles movies, and Oppenheimer. But in 38 years, there's only ever been 1. Baseball.
Now there goes the neighborhood.
We ain't found shit. Until now. I gotta say, for 98, when they show him, the guy looks damn good for 98.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'd like to say something that a lot of people
turn the volume up on that video a little bit.
Yeah, we'll turn it up on this part.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not know Spaceballs the sweatshirt never actually came into existence because merchandising was not allowed on the
Dude,
first
none
movie.
of the stuff they showed. They had actually made all those for the movie solely for the idea to basically poke finger that they couldn't.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie.
I love that they made the helmet broken.
Yes, with the Band-Aid. Hold on. The Band-Aid is like the best part right there.
Well, it's scotch tape across the lens,
Yeah,
too.
that. Oh. I was trying to see if there was any like. Yeah, I was trying to see if there's like any reflections or anything.
Entity saying they've gone plaid.
Right.
It's going to be good. I mean, we've already got the summary of it is Josh Gad is in it, which I don't care for. I like Josh Gad when he is just a side note character and is not in control of something. When he's the lead or something like that, then he's a good
backup
character. Yeah, he's a good backup person. He's not a lead. He really isn't. Freaking what is it? It's not Pullman. Is it Pullman or Paxton? Pullman, right?
Yeah, Pullman.
Bill Pullman is going to be back as Lone Star with his actual real life son as his son in the movie. I mean, the only people that are not coming back so far are the people that are sadly no longer with us.
Yep.
I mean, even freaking Michael Winslow is rumored to come back. The guy that played Tuvok is to come back. The We Ain't Got Shit trooper.
Yep.
Even the guy that said he's my cousin, sir, and the other assholes. Everybody that's alive is coming back. Yeah. What do you put here? I hope they have to. Knowing Mel Brooks, there's going to be a rib attack at everything. There's going to be an attack at all the politics over the last 30 years, all the shit movies, all the good movies. The man is a master.
How are you going to fit that in under 3 hours, though?
Only Mel Brooks could.
And you know what? It's going to be subtle shit.
Go back.
Shit in the back.
Yeah, go back and rewatch Men in Tights.
Oh.
And you can watch it every time. You will notice something in the background, something going on, commentating on something else without even realizing. All the way down to little conversations you can overhear in the back of side characters. The other one that's even really bigger on doing that is Dracula Dead and Loving It. Has a ton of hidden shit in it. And it was mainly because it was Leslie Nielsen's last role. He knew he was dying, and Mel Brooks knew it. They kept it from the cast, and he literally told him, you have full reign to ad-lib whatever the fuck you want.
It's Leslie Nielsen. You couldn't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
Which brings us also kind of to a side note. I'm kind of glad that the humor they're taking in the Naked Gun relaunch is that they're all the kids of the original character.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to rewrite the original character.
And I'm actually excited. I do want to see that
when it
comes out.
This is a good point. Yeah, I do agree with you that the VTubers are more entertaining. And I actually thought when Shark and I were actually talking about when we originally were going to do game streaming and stuff like that, to possibly go down that route, just because they have more personality, because there is a level of freedom in anonymity. By not knowing what someone looks like and you knowing that people cannot see you, it's kind of like the way you act when you're by yourself in your room. You feel more open to open up to people when they are not, in a sense, gazing on you. And that's why a lot of the VTuber people started that way. I know Iron Mouse, it's mainly due to her insecurities of her health conditions. Well, like when she actually started, you could hear her breathing through the oxygen tank because of her autoimmune disease. So, what are you saying? Interesting fact, if you look at the size of the ships and Spaceballs, the Spaceball one is 10K long and the same size of a Warhammer 40K battle barge. Wow. Well, no, you actually think when it pulls up the planet, that fucker was huge.
Well, just dude.
So that's amazing. That's the same combination I have on my luggage.
She's went from blow to suck.
It's like suck.
Walrus just is over here in a daze. You clearly never.
Sir, we've lost the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
So, like, yes, I've watched the movies, but I've only watched it like a couple of times, right? Huh. It's like, okay, I watched them a couple of times. Cool, I'm good.
What's all this bubbling and churning? Where's my radar? Oh, sir, that's not Raider. That's
Mr.
Mr. Coffee. On that note.
Oh,
All right, so our next breaking news for the day. This came out a few days ago. Solo Leveling 3 might be getting released sooner than you think. And not only is it going to be getting sooner than you think, it's going to be one big-ass season. Because I think they know that if they can rush this, if they can push the deadline on this forward, rather than give us the standard, 10 to 14, I have a feeling they're going to do an old school 21 episode dump. Which is going to be badass, but that just means
all at once.
Season 4 is going to be a lot longer.
You think they're going to dump it all at once, or they're still going to make us wait week to week?
No. They're going to do they're if I had to guess, what they're probably going to do what Crunchy and a lot of them have been doing recently, which is 2 to 3 episodes to start, and then one episode a week. But it'll be just a longer season. And probably if they're going to do big like the way they're talking about in this article, I'm getting the feeling that one, it's going to be more episodes, of course. But I have a feeling the final episode cliffhanger is going to be a longer one. So I'm all for it. Just give it to us a little bit sooner. When we first were reading that, it may be 27 before we see. I'm like, fuck that. Like, I'll go read all the manga now.
right.
I don't want to wait. That's too long of a wait. I'm sick of not having real seasons anymore of anything. I mean, it used to be you'd wait a year for a show to come back. You had your summer, your mid-season shows, your fall season shows, and your spring season shows. Even with streaming, I don't understand why they just didn't keep that. It makes no fucking sense what they do. Like, I'm sorry, it's great that, yeah, you get sometimes everything dumps at once, but at the same time, then you watch it all in a binge, and then you're like, fuck, what do I watch now?
So I got to say, one thing I really hate about anime is that they take, a minute and a half for an intro song to 2.5 minutes, and then they take a minute and a half to 2 minutes for an outro song out of the actual time that you get to watch. And so it's really only like a 15, 17-minute show.
I don't know which ones you're watching, because most of those songs I'm seeing are 2 minutes plus.
I don't know. Typically, the ones I've
seriously.
been watching are about a minute 30, because it's
Hentai
skips
doesn't
by
count.
10 on Crunchyroll, and so I do like 8. Like I know it's like boom, boom, boom. All right, cool, and it's right there at the credits. I'm like, all right, good.
How are we looking on the Rumble side, Shark?
We are back down to one viewer, which is probably me.
Okay, no comments yet?
No
Just
comments.
Okay.
We did have 1.4 viewers. So
It's going to be weird. Like I said, Rumble, I'm interested to see what it does, just because with the more, I kind of like the idea of more freedom. I ain't going.
Well, and this is kind of the first one for this with more than just you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right. So next subject of the evening is another fun one. It's going to be our last big discussion of the night before we go into just free talk and a couple of trailers that we're going to watch. Some interesting ones I saw that dropped recently that looked interesting. Some look cool. Some look. There's a trauma film in there. It's been a while since we've had a trauma film. And oddly enough, a trauma film, Peter Dinklage as the lead. Yeah. I did not see that coming. When I started watching this trailer, I was like, all right, we're back, trauma. And then I saw that, I was like, and then when you see the costume, you're like, oh shit.
I just had an epiphany because we were just talking about Spaceballs. If they don't have Peter Dinklage as one of the Tink Tinks.
No. You know what Peter Dinklage would be perfect for? Son of Yogurt, Frogurt.
I'm there. I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it.
Everybody's going to have a kid of some type or a carry on.
Hopefully.
Or hell, could you imagine if he ends up being like the big bad? He comes out as the Palpatine or the Snoke type character.
That'd be
It'd
fun.
be hilarious if they made him into an
Yeah.
R2D2
Well,
type
dude,
character.
he has played a good villain in the past. I mean, honestly, if you don't think, before we go into those trailers, if you want a funny film to see Peter Dinklage in, and just a generally entertaining, fun film in the first place, If you have never seen a little movie called Knights of Badassdom, go check it out. It's campy, but it's fucking hilarious. And oddly enough, you will recognize a lot of the people that are in it because they did it as a passion project. They didn't care to get paid. It was just to have fun. But he plays a funny character in that one who spends half the movie on shrooms.
Well, I think,
At a LARPing event.
oh, great.
All right,
I
so
think before
Tom,
we get into this next episode, we need to do something real quick.
what?
Warning. This is your only warning. The following preceding events may be deemed sensitive, and if you are easily offended, now is your time to leave. If you have a sense of humor and are not easily offended, please put your seatbelt on, keep your hands inside the vehicle, and enjoy the ride.
So yes, Entity, I got to agree with you right there. For being as effed of a timeline as we're in right now, and sometimes I hate being in this timeline, this did just make it a little bit better. It really did. All right, TOS. What TOS? What we're going to get into real quickly is just the all-around fuckery of the terms of services that are going on a lovely little site called. But before we get into it, as an example, we're going to look at Honey Blue getting banned from OnlyFans. It's pretty sad that when OnlyFans actually follows their terms of service better than Twitch. All because she decided she wanted to open up a petting zoo. Now, where this sounds like nonchalant, we're not talking petting. We're talking being chained and strapped in a glass box and allowing any men that will come up to do whatever the hell they wanted. Yeah, apparently OnlyFans does have a limit. I mean, they didn't have a problem with her banging 1,023 dudes in a 24-hour period, but apparently being bonded up is crossing the line. It's the same chick.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, yeah. Hot dogs in hallways.
Yeah, could you imagine if you're a guy 1,000?
I mean, I've heard of sloppy seconds, but this is pushing it.
Oh, yeah, I did hear. So, yeah, the rumor mill is that this might have actually at one time had meat and 2 bits.
Oh.
Now, I already know that this is not right. This is actually a rumor, mainly because it was actually in another show, and I will give credit where credit is due. Ryan K. on Friday Night Tights brought up a good point about this rumor. How it is not true is the fact that no manufactured vajayjay to date could take that much of a pounding and survive.
Inconceivable.
But it was an interesting rumor because, man, that thing spread like wildfire. All I thought in the back of my head was there's at least 1,000 of those 1,023 that were reenacting the crying game after hearing that.
Just they're all in the bathroom, just like Ace Ventura with the plunger.
So this brings us into our next one, which is Twitch not following the TOS for our favorite baby oil Diddy loving Mr. McPiker. You got it coming up, Shark?
Yep.
All right. Here you have OnlyFans actually honoring their terms of service, where Mr. Piker here can threaten the death of a U.S. senator, say somebody should take out the life of another U.S. senator, show well, let's put it this way. Out of all the Terry organizations, we all know the names of the 3 big ones that start with H. He has had on members of 2 of those on his stream live, saying how they're like Luffy from One Piece and they should be admired. Has literally gone off the deep end saying how great life in communism would be. And not a damn thing. In fact, the only time Twitch has done a damn thing to him is he got a 1-day ban on his day off for reading the Washington, D.C. Shooters Manifesto. So yeah, terms of service. What terms of service? This is why I will never stream on Twitch. Why I have never made a Twitch account. In fact, Twitch and Dan Clancy can go straight to fucking hell indefinitely, because it is a plain and simple fact that, case in point, two of the girls that are getting sued by Ethan Klein, Denims and Frogan, have literally sticked their group of sycophants to calling in CPS against other streamers and their kids, have doxed multiple people, threatened multiple people, literally said stuff like I said, the whole soldiers should get PTSD, 9/11 was deserved, wishing harm upon other people, not a damn thing done to any of them. But one of the people who they threatened happens to call the vertically challenged girl the F, two other letter word of what her rotundancy is, and he got basically banned on Twitch for 14 days. So Twitch is full of crap. They don't honor terms of service. What are you guys' thoughts on these? Well, YouTube and all of them, how bad they fuck one side and the other side just seems to, get glazed off to the point that their knob is shining.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Walsh.
The fact that we have to tiptoe on things that we can and can't say because we're afraid that the YouTube boogeyman or the Twitch Nazi or whatever entity is, that they're just going to be like, oh, this is not part of our agenda that we're trying to push on our platform, and so we're just going to completely censor it and try to push everybody into a box is not right. I think you should have all the extremes, or I shouldn't say extremes, but both ends of any of the arguments. That's the only way you get through it. The extremes could have their arguments for being able to say, okay, well, maybe that's not exactly what we're looking for. But I mean, it completely destroys your overall validity as a entity if you're just like, this is the only narrative that we're going to push.
Well, it's also even more disgusting when, case in point, when YouTube has pulled the people that we've known. You could have every right in the world to change your terms of service. You have every right to say, we're updating the terms of service, moving forward from this date, these are the new terms of service. And literally everybody has to adhere or agree to adhere to those terms of services that have been changed. But to sit there and say, we're changing it to this, and now we're going to use this to affect every video you've made for the past 10 years back. There's a thing called grandfather clauses for a reason. You can't strip someone of their entire livelihood of 10 years or more of content that was perfectly fine when they made said content.
Yeah. Terms of service are not supposed to be retroactive.
Yeah. But YouTube is notorious for doing that. And Shark and I were talking about this the other day. What angers me the most about it is everybody says the same thing. Well, how are you going to sue them? If every major creator that was affected goes at them at once in a class action, it will cause change. But as long as these big, huge creators all keep saying the same thing I hear them say, oh, they're too big, I can't sue them. If you band together, swallow your pride, and work with each other, you can. All you got to do is get enough fucking people in enough different jurisdictions. And like I was telling Shark, the other thing is their terms of service, they're holding people accountable to what they want here when YouTube and these platforms are worldwide. Your terms of services don't mean shit if you're asking somebody to go against, say, maybe a law that supersedes in where they're broadcasting from. But the problem is we're dealing with Google and these big companies like Twitch is freaking Amazon. But like I told Shark, Amazon, I think, Twitch is where the first change is ever going to happen. Because if they keep losing people that pay for ads, they keep losing their major content creators to other platforms, Dan Clancy is eventually going to be removed. Amazon's going to look at the bottom line and we've lost this much money under this ass hat. We no longer want him as CEO anymore. Because they own Twitch. It's not a publicly traded. It is 100% Amazon owned. And as we know, if it ain't a passion project for Bezos, Rings of Power. He gives a shit about the bottom line.
Blue Ocean.
Was it the one thing I hate about YouTube? If you have a problem, the only way to get there his attention is to cry loud. Yeah. Well, actually, that's not just YouTube. Twitter, basically Twitch is the same way. Sadly, the only two platforms I know of right now that I know people that are on them that if they have an issue, they can reach out and get an answer pretty quickly is Kick and Rumble. But at the same note, they're nowhere near the size and scope of the amount of creators and content as Twitch and YouTube. YouTube is the biggest because they've been around the longest. They bought out and swallowed up everybody around them that could have been their competition. The only thing that could put YouTube on its knees is if Musk actually does everything with Twitter that he wants to do. Because Twitter is utilized by more people than anything else. Even when they try to cry and create Blue Sky, which epically burns and fails in its first month. Although that we left it to get away from these toxic people. It's like, you were the toxic fucking people.
That's like, a platform I just can't believe actually made any kind of traction whatsoever. Was Twitter. Like, I mean,
people love voyeurism.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Yeah. People love voyeurism, and you know, like he was saying, you know, when it first got started, it's I'm sitting on the toilet. The first one dropped. Second one dropped.
Entity to say something. YouTube is a crap platform in the sense of how they treat their creators, how they censorship so much crap, and how they lie about it. Because I know damn well in my heart, and I know if it ever got to court and we could people could prove it, I know damn well that their excuse that we're going to demonetize you and stall out your content because we don't want it to affect our ad revenue, that's bullshit. I know they're basically penalizing the people they don't like, and the ads are still running and they're still making the same money. They're not losing any fucking money. They're just fucking the creator out of the money.
That's what it comes down to. People they don't like. It's the topics they don't want to promote.
Yeah, but the funny part is the topics they don't want to promote, 90% of these fucking companies don't give a shit about.
Correct. But YouTube wants to promote one thing, and so therefore, regardless of who you are. If
it's not their narrative, they're not going to push it.
Yep.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is YouTube is not the only thing of its kind entity. There were others out there. The problem is Google basically ran them into bankruptcy through doing shady-ass tactics in the early 90s before anybody was paying attention to this shit.
Yeah.
People don't realize YouTube was not the first. Vine was.
Oh, I mean, it's
and like there were other ones before Vine. Well, yeah, and honestly, I miss MySpace. I miss the ability to basically customize every fucking thing on my page. Hell, I think one of my pages. Coding. Yeah. Trey was the first one that did what? HTML embedded coded.
Yep.
Coding. Yeah.
I used to have video. I'd snag video games and all kinds of stuff. Have them up on my.
Dude, I had my page with a moving background. It played different music. Had videos linked onto it. I miss MySpace.
I miss YouTube.
And you had your first friend the minute you joined, Tom, and he didn't care if you kept him or not.
Yep. Well, I miss the old YouTube too. Back in the day, where you could when I used to make music videos with anime for fun because it was something I was learning, and to date myself, I was doing it on a Windows Millennium machine and using Windows Video Editor. Or Windows Movie Maker. That's what it was.
Sir, I played my first PC game on a Commodore.
Mine was an Apple II.
See, at least you had an Apple II. I had something that took up the whole kitchen table and cost the price of a car.
Oh,
and they told us at that time 64 megabytes was all you'll ever need.
Right. I remember I lived in Houston when I was a kid, little, and I remember the first portable computer I ever saw, and it was this huge compact. It was I forget the brand, or it was a compact was the brand.
It wasn't Innovision, was it?
You know what? I've got to look it up now, but it was so big.
At that time, you had Innovision, and then you had the Brother Slate.
No, this was a compact.
Ooh. That's like the original cell phones were the size of a fucking briefcase. I'll take the back. The phone looked like a phone. The battery was the size of a goddamn briefcase.
Yeah, it was in the bag and all that. Or is
Yep.
this
Oh, the
It
old
came,
bag
with, it
phones,
came
yeah.
with the bag.
Yeah.
What do you edited that? Yeah, Entity, the ads are getting ridiculous on YouTube, and the even bigger fuckery is even if you pay for YouTube Premium, they now fucking have ads on something. So really having premium just basically means instead of 5 minutes of ads, you get 40 seconds.
Okay, so I have to share this one just because it'll help
Okay.
date myself. But I remember my sister coming home with this for work.
Oh, the Compact Plus.
Yes.
Yeah,
Straight
and that's
word
what that's what they
floppy.
deemed as that's what they deemed as a portable at that time.
Yep. And the thing, I mean, the thing was a freaking suitcase. You
Well,
could
yeah,
not
because
carry
to
this. You
cover
had
the
to roll it.
screen, basically the keyboard went up and clicked into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the handle was on right side, right?
Yep. 5-inch
Yeah.
floppies.
No, that's
Yeah.
something. That's something. 90% of these people don't even know anymore. What the fuck is a floppy? They don't know what a floppy is.
Well, they think a 3.5 is a floppy. It's like you don't remember the old
That's
Hold
not
on.
a true floppy.
Hold on. I got one for you. Hold on.
Dude, I still remember reel-to-reel microfiche.
Well, that's because you're old.
Yeah, I know. My dad had an old, thick, and I mean laptop. It was as thick. Yeah. No, the original laptops were big as shit.
900 and
Yep.
this was a server backup. This is one of the original server floppy backups. 940 megabytes.
Do
Of-
I still
of
see
old
school.
plastic on that?
Yes. No, this is, but it
Oh,
is
okay.
clean. And it's an A side, B side.
So here's one for you. One technology I remember seeing, I wondered why it never caught on. The fucking
Laserdisc?
Laserdisc
I
was
know.
great.
I was just picking.
One of the best versions of Jurassic Park I ever watched
Oh,
on a
yeah.
big screen was on Laserdisc. The sound was no sound has ever gotten as good as the sound on Laserdisc was. Like it was the first true 10.1 surround sound. Before everybody needed fucking, computer banks of processors to do that in their home theaters. What was the one that came out that it was about Shark? Look at me real quick. It was about
Yeah,
this big, and in the center was a spinning small DVD. And you actually put it on top of the reader.
I don't remember.
Because the discs
don't
that were in
remember
there
that one.
is where the Nintendo 64 got the idea for their mini discs.
Yeah, well, the PSP disc almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was about to bring up the PSP.
Yeah.
But this was
That shit
this was
was
the
awesome.
this was the precursor to writable DVDs.
Oh man.
But I think
We-
if I had to guess, probably the only reason it didn't get caught on as much as DVDs is I bet you because of the size, it couldn't contain as much data per disc.
Can
Yeah.
we talk about how the PSP was ahead of its time and that it was the superior platform for a good
Yes.
while?
Not the micro disc.
Yeah. No, the PSP was good. Everybody
in fact-
tried to like Steam. That's when Steam first got off their ass and tried to do the first Valve deck,
Mhm.
and it failed.
You're not talking. No, not micro drives. I'm trying to remember.
No,
what
no,
the
no,
hell
not
it was.
micro drive. Anyway, let's get while you're looking at that, let's go ahead and let's bring up we got a couple of trailers we're gonna hop on and check out, and then we're basically gonna kind of open up the floor to general discussion after these trailers, and then we'll be continuing after that on Rumble for the Power Hour. So first trailer we got today is a new movie coming out that it brought up a little bit of a stir because we're wondering which route down the political landscape, sadly, it's going to try to go down. But it does have a lot of heavy hitters, and it is an A24 production. It's called Eddington.
I am recording this. Fair warning. Is that really necessary?
And be forewarned, it does have Pedro, Pussy Boy, I'm and Everything Pascal.
Joe, 6 feet.
Give me a home where the buffalo roam,
Is that praying?
where the deer and the antelope play,
How did we get here? And even worse, is
Your
it worth-
reaction.
where
He saw him stick that thing in the nose and instantly started to realize, like, oh fuck.
Oh, it's just trauma response right there.
At the cost of being at war with their neighbors? That's why I'm running for mayor.
And the skies are not
Mayor of Eddington.
all day.
Thank you, super duper very much. I used to think that you were some big deal, but I am a much better human being than you.
Who are you talking to? There's nobody here.
Home, home on the range.
Husband, sheriff, mayor to be.
Pause it for a second. Is that really an accurate claim? Because I could swear that there have been at least a few things that could kind of fall into the genre of a modern West.
Huh? Modern
Yeah.
Western?
Yeah, it's
Modern
saying it's the
Western.
first truly modern Western. I'm thinking, now you don't need to bring it back. Yeah, right
I
there.
was just looking right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
IndieWire.
Well, go figure. It's fucking IndieWire. They're
Yeah.
retards.
Yeah.
I was guessing. I don't think that. No.
Yeah.
mean,
What that
I
should
would
say
say
is
that-
it's the first truly modern Western that sucks the Smurf dink.
But
By the way, that's my new claim. Anybody that's far left, my name for them now are Smurfs. Since their party's blue and they love sucking the blue dick so much that they turned blue.
You want things simple and neat. We are in a fight against evil.
Seldom is heard.
These are your streets. No, they're your streets to be safe.
You know how death works out.
People are going to be looking here now.
Keep your own office going, but you're going to run mine.
So you vote Joe Cross, take back our community,
Hell yeah.
save our soul.
I don't know which direction it's going. That's the weird part. It's like
Yeah.
part of me wants to say, are they attacking right or left, or are they really pulling out the bullshit of both?
I think it's both, but I like that they're doing it with the COVID.
Well, yeah, because that's
They're
kind of
just
where all this
showing
shifted
the
out.
drama of COVID.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, no movie. Really, the only thing I've seen that's even touched the C word subject in all these years has been The Pit. And that's through flashback scenes of him damn near having a mental breakdown, remembering all the people dying around him.
Yeah.
Because he ran the ER in the biggest. Okay, by the way, anybody here in the group watch The Pit?
No.
No.
It is with Noah Weil. It is the most accurate medical TV show in an ER ever done. Every hour of the show, you are actually watching an hour of their shift. And basically, it just shows you all the shit that a modern hospital ER has, because they're basically the largest ER in Pittsburgh. Hence the nickname The Pit. And really good casting, really good graphic as fuck. Like, there are scenes where they've shown injuries that even medical doctors who do React channels are watching it like, yeah, that's what that looks like. I'm shocked they're showing it.
Hmm.
All the way down to the last few episodes, they're dealing with a mass shooting. So trauma upon trauma upon trauma coming in.
I agree with you, Entity. Landman is a modern Western.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But maybe they're talking like movie wise. I was trying to think movies, but everyone coming to my head, I guess you really can't consider them a true Western because there's sci-fi elements or, there's
Yeah,
other
space
elements in
Western.
it.
No, what was
They're
that
right.
one-
This is true, just out in the wild life.
Well, no, what was that one about them robbing the banks in West Texas?
Hold on, wait a minute. The Pit had a VTuber in it? I'm trying to remember. Did I see that? Did I miss that? Entity, give me a quick rundown. Which episode was it? Because I'm pretty sure, like, I watched all of it. I'm trying to remember if it like skipped my brain real quickly when they showed it or it happened. What were you gonna say, Shark?
I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. The where they rob all the banks in West Texas, trying to get their family's land back.
Oh, are you talking about the one that are you talking the one that was literally
With
based
Nash
off
Bridge
of?
or yeah, it was based off a true story.
Yeah, you're okay. Well, there have been a few movies made off of that. Are you talking the one that's actually like replicating the James Gang?
No,
The history of
Hell
the
or
James
High
Gang?
Water.
Or
Hell or High Water.
oh yeah, that would be a modern Western.
That is a modern Western.
They probably, but well, you got to remember it's IndieWire. To them, it was a crime drama. Let's finish this out.
All right. Well, I gotta get back on the right screen.
Your pain is not a coincidence. You are not a coincidence. We are not a coincidence. You're gonna destroy it. What is going on?
We need to free each other's hearts.
Go back there real quick. What the hell did he kick at the door? Is that a Bravo?
No, that's a PKM.
Oh, fuck, it is.
Yeah, that's a PKM.
Is it?
Hold on, let's get a little closer,
No.
right? Hold on. Come
No,
on.
no. I don't think that's a PKM.
No, I think
Is that a 60?
Yes.
That's a hog.
Yeah, it's got a scope on. It's got a freaking scope.
Let's listen to it. Play it. Listen to it.
Yeah,
that's a hog.
It's a hog. Nice.
Okay, I want to see. I want to really.
I'm sorry. I love the. There we go. I love the Rambo effect here. One-handed and slinging it.
Well, he's not one-handing it. He's holding he's holding the top handle.
Yeah, he's got it under his thing, but still, he's Rambo in that.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because
he's the first guy I've ever seen to actually hold that handle.
Well, I'm just loving the fact that he's walking all nonchalantly. So I'm sorry, if you're walking backwards firing that, it's going to be throwing you on your butt.
Yeah, for real.
We're not those things, dude. The kick on those are fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, was it?
At least they got the sound right.
Yeah,
got to give the editor credit.
Did you see where it showed the civilians trying to walk forward, shooting? I forget which one it was shooting. 46. And they're letting the civilians shoot, and he can't walk forward. It's just leaning into it, and then the military dudes just.
Yeah, wasn't that the new Spear LMG?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, even Matt Best was trying to move forward with that thing, and he was getting pushed back. He was like, "Holy shit!" But he was loving it. I gotta say, they better make an airsoft version of that freaking thing. Because it's sick looking.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Eddington. Looks interesting. I can't knock it. I didn't see anything that raised the flag.
That's definitely not something I would go to the theater to watch, but I watched it in my home theater.
You won't have to wait too long. If it's A24, you already know theater-wise it's only going to be there for about a month. And then literally, what is it, A24, they normally get, they're always on Prime. They drop on Prime first.
Hey, I mean, Warfare was really good, though.
Warfare should have stayed in the theater longer. I don't know why it had such a short run before it went straight to streaming.
Agreed.
All right, so here we go. Hold on real quick. I finished my coffee for this one. All right. I have loved trauma films since day one. And Toxie was one of my favorite characters. So, yeah. Hold on. What did... Oh, that's pretty cool. Like I said, I've got both of these written down. I'm definitely going to check them out. All right.
Armed political extremists have taken hostages downtown. Somebody do something!
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that. Just relax, okay? We'd love.
Sorry, one moment, please. Sorry about that.
Shelly a year ago. These days, it's just me and the kid.
Looks great.
Not just worry about the black part. That part's pretty good.
No, give him back.
I don't want to hurt him.
Why didn't you do anything?
Sometimes it's better to do nothing.
It's going good.
You're saying that this corporation
would knowingly poison its own customers just to boost their own profit margins? Summon the nuts.
Okay, summoning the nuts.
I didn't want any of this. I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. Show him your good heart.
Hey, buddy, I'm your dad. What the? I wasn't even involved. But sometimes you gotta do something.
Yes.
Who the fuck are you? Just some dude with a mop.
Yes.
That's a trauma film.
Yes. We haven't had anything like this in a while. This is going to be awesome.
How does it feel to be a hero? A simple melody. Do you realize what's at stake here? Everything!
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yes,
This
you
right
have.
here-
You're not seeing it wrong. That is Kevin Bacon, and that is Elijah Wood.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, wait
But-
till you see the credits on this of who's actually all in this thing.
Tell me you're not getting Rocky Horror vibes
Oh
out
yeah,
of these two.
it's literally Rocky Horror to possibly Igor.
Yeah.
Everything! Find him, bring him
The
here.
character you're thinking of is Riff Raff
Yeah, Riff Raff.
from Rocky Horror.
Or Penguin, little Penguin in there.
Yeah.
That was just self-defense. You haven't killed anyone else, have you?
See, when you say self-defense,
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though.
It's all that matters to me.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him.
So,
All right, hold on. Right here. There we go.
Yeah, Julia Davis, Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, and
Yeah.
Taylor Page.
Nice.
You got 4 heavy hitters in there.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
I think it's swell. Oh man,
That's
no, that is damn good.
So Entity, if you've never been familiar with the Trauma films, you're not supposed to take any of it seriously. It's literally just supposed to be laughs and gore. That's kind of the point to them. They're a satire of everything. Yeah. It's actually not a staff, it's his mop. All right, so we got 2 more to go through
All
and
right,
check
here.
out. So these last 2, well, this next one came across my feed, and I have not heard anything about it, but the actual effects of it look incredible.
Here they come.
Going high. Roger that, real sweet. Get on top of it. We can't stay here.
And you're going to recognize a lot of guys from shows like The Unit and SEALs are in this.
but where the hell are we?
Say we get out of here right now.
That is good advice.
Who are you?
Stay close.
Let's move.
How do we know she's on our side?
How long have you been awake?
30 years. They collected us first. We're livestock.
What are they after?
They're hungry.
She's kidding, right?
They will wipe out Earth.
Why don't we just take the fight to them?
I'll admit it. I like it.
We got company!
So what I've noticed just checking out this trailer the first time that kind of gets my attention is I'm seeing literally a massive amount of sets and physical effects. Like that creature,
Yeah.
none of that CGI. That's physical effects, and I miss old school good physical effects. What did NT put there? You know what kind of movie I would like to see be made again? Movies like The Car or It Follows. I would too. The problem is you got to have really damn good writers. Movies like those can turn campy and cheesy so fast if not done right. But no, It Follows was damn good, and The Car was a good one too. Trying to think, The Car was actually a redone of another film. And the only thing I can remember about the film right now for the life of me is it was in the desert and the car was a white 70 Challenger. Oh, I'll have to remember. I think it's like Endless something yeah. Maybe next show I'll remember the name of it at that time.
Going back to Osiris, I wonder if they got ILM and Adam Savage involved, for that type of cinematography, because I mean they're really big on that, and they've been trying to bring it back in more of their recent movies that they've done. They're trying to bring a lot more of that back.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, I'm also the look of the creature too gives me a lot of reminiscence of Rick Baker's Creature Shop.
Yeah,
that's another people. They're still around too. They just sadly don't get the credit
or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean Rick Baker did everything. He was the Xenomorphs in the original Aliens film. It was the Creature Shop that built them. What was it? The original Freddy Krueger of Robert Englund was all Rick Baker's Creature Shop. Pretty much every great horror and sci-fi in the early 80s, late 70s to early 90s was Rick Baker Creature Shop or ILM. It was a battle between those two companies at that time. And every once in a while, Jim Henson's studio would pop in there for like animatronics and some of the back end stuff. Yes, Entity. I do remember the Wraith with Charlie Sheen. That was one of the coolest prototype cars that never ever got built. And oddly enough, the turbo engine that was in it led to like all of your pretty much 2.4 liter and 1.8 liter turbos you have now. And the last one, I am really looking forward to. One, it's got a Netflix budget, so that's a good thing. Guillermo del Toro. And
It's not on Amazon.
Well, it's not just that. It's Guillermo del Toro has been. I watched an interview a long time ago about this is the one thing he has always wanted to make, because the original Boris Karloff film and Mary Shelley's book is what got him into the love for what he does. That's what made him want to make films, to do horror.
I had determined that the memory of my evils should die with me. Some of what I will tell you is fact. Some is not. But it is all true. What manner of creature is that? What manner of devil made him? I did. I had a vision. An idea took shape in my mind. Inevitable. Unavoidable. until it became truth.
Pause it real quick. I'm loving the fact that it's showing that scene right there.
Yeah.
None of the other movies or anything in the books ever showed the amount of bodies and carnage it took to build the creature.
Yeah. Yeah. And then back here where he's claiming claiming it from this battlefield where the frozen bodies are, because that was the only way you could get, material that wasn't necrotic.
Yep.
Inevitable.
And if you look at the windmills in the background.
Yep.
Unavoidable.
Wow, that's interesting right there.
Well, the coolest part about it is if you look at everything they're showing, nothing looks out of place for the time period of when this is supposed to be taking place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, this kind of does whatever this thing is.
It pushes it, but it wasn't something that was unfeasible.
True.
Because everything he's using is copper and brass.
Yeah. And then those are probably glass. Ooh.
Yeah, it's blown glass.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your uranium glass.
I was just about to say, I wonder if it's uranium.
Shark's going to break into the set now and try to get it all.
Hell yeah. New backdrop pieces.
That was a cool shot.
Well, you already know with Del Toro, the cinematography is going to be off the hook. He always is.
And the audio is going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In seeking life.
Okay, that's also kind of interesting where the imagery where they're bringing in the Christ imagery.
Yep.
Gives me like pincushion vibe.
I created death.
A little bit.
Like, I'm not a horror thriller guy, but I am excited.
Wait a minute. Go back to the credits. So we know that's Oscar Isaac. The girl's Mia Goth. Don't tell me the monster is Christoph Waltz.
It might be.
Okay, look at the IMDb. Jacob Elordi is either the monster or Christoph Waltz, and if it's not, Christoph Waltz is probably playing Igor.
Let's see here.
I'm curious to see what Waltz is playing.
Pulling up IMDb right now.
Well, who's Isaac playing?
Oscar Isaac is Dr. Frankenstein.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the
Christopher
doctor.
Waltz is playing Harlander.
Oh.
Jacob
He's playing
Eldery is playing the monster.
Okay, you know who that character, the Waltz is?
The Harlander?
It's the investigator that's trying to track all the dead bodies, the one that puts the pieces together and burns the castle down.
Oh, he's the one that starts the fire.
Yes, he's the one.
Gotcha.
He's the one he's the one that's basically watching Frankenstein do his. He sees Frankenstein's display of the mutated monkey in the Hall of Scientists. And then later on, he's the one, he also puts the piece together because of seeing that, and then all the bodies missing parts and all the missing people. He's the investigator that puts it all together.
Wait a minute. I thought that was
he's either the chief scientist
Captain Anderson.
Okay, you have to bring up the book because he's either the guy that brings the pieces together, which would be the investigator, or he's the head of the medical academy.
I think he's the medical academy one because I think
it's been forever since I read the damn book.
Hold on, pull it up. Okay.
However, I will say I'm disappointed in this trailer in one point. Where the monster's on the ship and is wrecking havoc and it points its finger out. In the book, it never says Victor.
Well, but
in the book, it screams the word father.
Father, yeah.
It's he only calls him Victor when he kills him. Because Victor basically makes a statement about you are a true conglomerate, you're a true collection of evil or something like that. And that's when he looks at him, he goes, I am what you made me, Victor. And that's when he kills him. And then he walks off into the ice, and you don't know if the monster dies or not.
I'm not being.
Don't get mad at me. I've never seen a Frankenstein movie or read any of the books. No, you're good, man. A lot of people haven't. There has actually not been. Yeah, there hasn't been a solid telling of Frankenstein in forever.
Yeah.
The monster, the creature itself has been done iterations of the creature as it's already been made, and it exists in multiple things from like Monster Squad to Penny Dreadful to all these other shows. But you're right. There has. I think the last movie that actually showed the creation of the creature was Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think because what is Harlander's first name? Is it Henry? Oh, dude, I'd have to
read it so long. And these are characters that none of the other stories ever brought up.
Exactly.
It was only in the book.
If Harlander is Henry Harlander, then that's Frankenstein's best friend. That's Victor's best friend. Dude, I don't think I have the book downstairs either.
All right, hold on. It seems there may be some confusion regarding the character Harlander and Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein. While the novel features several significant characters such as Victor Frankenstein, the creature, Elizabeth Lavenza, which is Mia Goth's character, and Henry Clerval, Harlander is not a character in the original novel. However, Harlander does appear. So I'm thinking it is probably a character that probably didn't have a name in the novel, and they've given him a name because it actually had some significance in the story, which sadly leaves about like at least 8 characters I can think of off the top of my head that they really don't go into big detail. It's got to be somebody pivotal. I mean, it's Christoph Waltz. You're not gonna bring in a talent like that and not have him play something pivotal.
I bet you it's Victor's best friend.
Okay, so Entity Creature Commandos did have Frankenstein, but it doesn't actually have the creation or building of the monster in depth.
Yeah.
It's more the story of he's there, they build the bride, and the bride rejects him. Which, by the way, on a side note of that, Frankenstein and Creatures Commando was not a wife-beating simp jackass that they made him out to be in the recent cartoon. The Frankenstein in the books was way fucking different. They did that to basically match the modern audience. Because everything that they got to do has to have somebody that represents the MAGA crowd. The the Andrew Tate sphere people.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's a good trailer. It looks good. It really, and they do have. I mean, you do have a dream team of people on that thing. I'm really looking forward to.
I think as we go through and we do more of these trailers and stuff, that we need to have a counter of hey, do we go and watch this in the theater, or is this a wait for it to come out kind of deals?
If it's Del Toro, I'm seeing it in the theater.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
Osiris, wait to stream.
That Western wait to stream.
Wait to stream on the Western. Toxie, I'll probably go see in the theater just to support Trauma.
Yeah.
Plus, other Trauma heads are going to be there, and that's going to turn into a Rocky Horror style event. It always does.
Yeah.
So
case in point, anybody in San Antonio, bring back goddamn Rocky Horror on a Friday night midnight showing again, motherfuckers. I don't want to have to go to Austin if I ever want to see it again. Hell, I don't even know if Austin's still doing it.
All right. I'm going to have to step away for just a minute. Jack is doing the potty dance, so I'll be back momentarily.
Well, actually, since you're going to head on that, I think this is probably where we're going to end it on YouTube tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and joining. We're going to go into our free speak and join, and basically anybody that wants to throw in comments and be uncensored and join us in some uncensored level of fuckery, we will be continuing on the Rumble channel on the Rumble Power Hour. But again, thank you for joining. You can catch everybody on their handles you see here, and we'll see you in 2 weeks here on YouTube. So if you want to roll those credits, Shark, I'll go ahead and kill it when it ends for you, and we'll continue on Rumble.
All right, sounds good.
So thank you for joining, everybody.
If I know how to do this.
Hit outro. Hit.
That's what I
hit
tried to do,
outro.
yeah. You don't like me.
All right, hold on. I got it.